Ask Reddit by hot cup of coffee. What companies have extremely high quality standards for products that people might not realize? Obvious big reference. Aeronautic tolerances under a cheap AF pen. Their lighters are also vastly superior to the competition and they only cost a few cents more. In terms of temporary adhesives, anything 3M. Especially post-it notes and command strips. Somehow their material science is so far above every other sticky note company that it's barely comparable, and I don't know if there's any alternative to 3M command strips. They do all kinds of stuff. The museum field is trying to get rid of all the formaldehyde that animals, etc. are preserved and displayed in because, you know, it causes cancer, makes the specimens lose color and rigidity, and it smells like the inside of the Solarc. 3M spent years developing a new gel-like preservative that doesn't go yellow or gray with age and only has a mild odor that goes away. It's been a huge game changer. Source: worked at Smithsonian Natural History, museum professional, not educator, tour guide, admin, etc. I went to school to be able to touch the stuff. King Arthur flour. They've rejected multiple train cars full of unprocessed wheat because the protein content was off by a few hundredths of a percent, contravening the requirements set forth in their commodities contract. It put them behind in production and pissed off their suppliers. Most other flour producers would have accepted it with a variance sign-off and moved on. My mill worked as HR manager at their HQ in Vermont for several years. She really liked it there and I got the impression it was a company that genuinely appreciated their product and employees. Also, they were constantly trying recipes out in the kitchen at HQ. Employees were encouraged to try out the stuff, and the rule was that you had to leave notes about anything you tried. You bite, you write. YKK zippers. The best. Dang straight. Even when they had no competition for decades, they kept quality really, really high. Yamaha musical instruments. Their guitars often get overlooked, but I have never played a bad anything by Yamaha. Brass checking in. Yamaha trumpets and trombones do just fine through high school, and their Xeno series trombones are just about on par with Bach and Holton. I've never been disappointed by pens created by Pilot or Mitsubishi Pencil Company, who created the Uniball pens. Pilot's fountain pens and ink are excellent as well. Reliable, tough, writes great, excellent color. With the current prices of pens, a Pilot Metropolitan and a bottle of their Namaki ink will save you money faster than you'd expect while reducing wrist strain. The only danger is getting sucked into the fountain pen black hole of wallet doom. Ball the Jar Company. They make satellites. Ball just completed the sale of the aerospace division to buy. Some people may know, but Lego has extremely tight manufacturing tolerances, aiming for around a precision of plus or minus 0.01 mm in dimensions to ensure consistent and reliable interlocking of pieces across different sets. That's why pieces made years or decades apart snap together like they were all made yesterday. There really isn't a competitor that comes close. Not only that, but they were pioneers when it came to the utilization of injection molding. I wrote a paper on it for my mechanical engineering class. Their standards are absolutely incredible. This thread made me think of Zippo. More for their free repairs and replacement on authentic lighters. All you have to do is mail them the lighter. In this day and age, that's incredible. They don't even care where you got the lighter just as long as it's a real Zippo. Tweezerman is the same. If you need your tweezers sharpened or any of their other small tools repaired, you mail them back and they repair sharpen the item for free. At least when I sold cosmetics a few years back. Fiskars. Scissors and branch loppers. I broke a set of loppers and I was pretty sure it was my fault because I was cutting a branch that was way too big and I twisted the loppers. I did this many times over the years. Finally it broke the blade. I sent them an email asking how much to get a new lopper blade and explained that it was my fault. They said no worries and sent me a new blade for free. And a whole new set of loppers for free. I only buy Fiskars for scissors and loppers now. Their scissors never lose sharpness somehow, regardless of how I misuse them. Haha, thanks Fiskars. They're super expensive, but Herman Miller chairs. I sit in mine for several hours every day and it is by far the most comfortable, least back pain chair I've ever had. Crazy part about Herman Miller chairs is you don't immediately notice how comfy they are because they're designed for work. Spent years on shitty office chairs and when the day was over I felt pain in my back and shoulders. After a long day at the office in a Herman Miller, no pain. The long-term effects of having a good office chair are invaluable. Kong dog toys, the red rubber stuffable toys. The rubber is a precision-made compound with such high-quality control to always be the same whether it is being made for a small-size Kong or the red Kong frisbee. Because it is a ubiquitous item available at many pet stores worldwide, shelf-stable and always smells the same to the dog, it is used in detection dog programs for security, police and military around the world. They cut up pieces of Kong into incredibly small shavings to train the dogs to find before moving on to other target odors, as well as using the Kongs themselves as a reward toy. The one exception to the red Kong material is the red Kong keychain. For whatever reason Kong changed the formula for that one, so it can't be chopped into pieces and used in place of other Kong rubber. They are so sturdy that as a massage therapist I recommend them for self-massage over tennis balls. Usually we are told that if a person wants to loosen some muscle tension to put a tennis ball in a tube sock and pin it against a floor or wall with your body to massage the tense area, but Kongs are more ideal especially with their shape. King Arthur and gold medal are my only bread flowers. Gold medal is what the small village grocery store carries. King Arthur when in the bigger city, 45 miles away. I used to get King Arthur delivered by Amazon before they got so greedy on Prime. IKEA toys for children currently have tougher safety standards than what all the global laws requires. Blahaj, my beloved. In the tool world construction it's hard to beat Hilti, but they are expensive. Hilti is true professionals tools. I own some Hilti tools that are literally older than me and they are used weekly and I'm almost 30. But yeah, Milwaukee is king because they make a $60 coffee cup that attaches to a $200 milk crate. Rolls-Royce. I worked for a company who for 2 years tried to produce exhaust vanes for their jet engines. Every time an inspector came, we failed. I work at Rolls-Royce. There are so many things that have to work together that the tolerant stacking of components is truly fascinating. You'd be shocked at some of the concessions that get signed off though. Most people probably realize this, but Toyota has insanely high quality control down to the individual parts. There's a reason they last forever. I was in a Toyota manufacturing facility recently where they were doing quality inspections on camshafts. They were using equipment that I didn't recognize. When I asked about it I learned that they use some very specialized measuring devices because the tolerance for some parts of their camshafts is plus 4 microns. An average human hair is around 100 microns. That blew me away. Most Kirkland products from Costco. If money weren't a factor, but I had to work, I wouldn't mind hanging around Costco helping people pick shite out. Most people know that Zeiss makes really good glasses. What some folks may not know is that they also make the ultra-flat mirrors used in ASML's UV lithography machines, the ones that make every high-end computer chip in the world. Why mirrors and not lenses? The light used passing through a lens of any material, regardless of how perfect, is too disruptive. How flat are the mirrors? To the atomic level. If the mirrors were scaled up to the size of Texas, the largest imperfection would be less than 2 millimeters tall. Their camera lenses are amazing too. I have some of my grandpa's that are probably worth more than all my cameras combined. KitchenAid. My food mixer is 25 years old, is used to stroke 3 times a week and lux and operates like new. Carter's clothing for babies and children. I still have onesies and pajamas that were thoroughly put through all the stains, strains, and antics of each one of my kids. Yet my 4-month-old can wear my 4-year-old's old clothes and there's not a tear at all. The colors are faded a bit and there's some paint, berry, and spaghetti in places, but overall they've held up well. Same can be said of New Balance. I've worn the same pair for about a decade and the worst thing about them is the grass stains. My grandfather, born in 1900, told me a story. When he was 16 his mother told him to go to college, so he rode his horse to Boston. He was going to go to Boston College, but the guy he got a room with encouraged him to study for the entrance exam for MIT. He said, it was this guy, Carter. He ended up making kids' underwear. Bush's baked beans. I've never worked at another facility where quality was focused so much more than actual production. The line stops all the time over anything remotely impactful to quality to make sure that the product is safe and the standards are met. I've seen them shut production down for 3 days while they diagnosed and solved an issue that they could have ignored and just let the filters catch. Oh, and they continued paying their employees through the downtime. Absolute amazing company. Thermopro thermometers. Their quality control is fantastic, and they have remained accurate for years. I've had the same digital probe thermometer for 10 years, and now and then, I bring it into my lab to test its accuracy, still spot on after all this time. You can absolutely tell the difference between this and a cheap, nearly identical knockoff from Amazon that sells 1/4 of the price. We've bought a few to test them, and the accuracy ranges are striking. Plus or minus 15 degree F, quite possibly the difference between safe and very dangerous for certain foods. I know it isn't a product, but the machinists at the airline I work for. We get applicants who do all their work with CNC machines, but when getting a part out fast and accurate, the CNC may not be the best bet. For decades our machinists have manually lathed parts that meet exceedingly tight tolerances faster than a CNC could be programmed, and that skill is dying. There are so many that wash out with the practical. So I just want to celebrate them. They do an incredible job. Done tough socks from VT. Lovely people too. As of I'm on to wearing some Done tough socks right now, I fully back this lol.